and 20th of July 2017 maturities. On the other hand, yields at the mid and long segments contracted as investors demanded the August 17, 2017 and April 5, 2018 bills each. Let's look at the currency market now. The central bank offered $100 million in wholesale transactions to boost liquidity at the interbank market. The naira at the interbank market weakened on Wednesday against the dollar to close at 306 naira 25 kobo. It also dropped 0.15% against the pound to sell at 406 naira 69 kobo. It closed at 343 naira 47 kobo against the euro, down 3.17%. At the parallel markets, the naira closed flat against the dollar and euro at 391 naira and 420 naira each, while it strengthened against the pound to 495 naira. Meanwhile, the naira weakened to 382 naira 64 kobo at the investors and exporters window. Well, and for more on the market, I'm being joined by an investment analyst at ARM Securities, Amaka Okoha. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. So what would you say were the major drivers of the equity market in Wednesday's trading?
Okay, so for trading in the equities market, what we've seen is that the reaction has been, these have been reactions to the Q1 results, Q1 17 results that were released. So we see like major names that drove the rally. So we saw GTB posted really strong results due to the high yield environment. We saw Zenith Bank also posting high results. Then Owando surprisingly drove a rally in oil and gas, and that's because what we've seen is that for the past 2 quarters, the company has posted impressive results. It's Q4 16 results. For the standalone, that was the first time in 6 quarters that the company has posted a profit, an operating profit. And then we saw that Q1 17 net debt was down about 29%. Also, PBT was up. So that's also helped the segment for oil and gas. Then when you look at the consumer names, what we've seen is that a lot of them have been able to transfer the rising, that's like cost pressures that they've been facing, they've been able to translate into higher prices. So we've seen Nestle, we've seen Unilever posting record income, record revenue growth, and also we've seen their PBT and their PAT coming in stronger on the back of this. And also when you look at the fact that the naira has been appreciating at the parallel markets, and also when you look at the improved FX liquidity, so there's a positive sentiment towards the stocks, and that's what's helped it to rally.
Now, talking about the earnings that came in yesterday, we saw that the banking stocks were the most preferred for investors. And when these earnings were coming in, and we know that quite a number of big name banks didn't quite post some kind of impressive results, which also affected trading a little bit at that time. Now, is it that investors have actually looked at this results and have digested it so much that they have to now, change their sentiment towards that stock that happens to be the preferred stock in yesterday's trading?
Okay, so for the banking stocks, what we've seen is that for like the impressive names, what we've seen like for the major stocks that have driven the rally, when you look at Zenith Bank and GTB, they've posted significant growth on year-on-year basis. And when you look at the trends for the short term, especially in the Nigerian market, we've seen that what's driven it are things that we expect to continue like into the long term. Then for GT, look at their strong FX trading income. For high interest yield environment, for access, you look at the strong FX trading income, UBA too. Because of their liquid balance sheet, they've been able to capitalize on the higher yields. So when you look at the high yield environment that we're presently in, I think that is what so investors have priced that in, and they've looked at it for these companies, and they think that this is something that would continue to play out.
All right, you've talked about the banks, you've talked about oil and gas, consumer goods, industrial sector. What about insurance? What do you have to say about the insurance stocks?
What do I have to say about insurance stocks? For insurance stocks, they have been For insurance stocks, we have a positive outlook on the insurance industry because looking at the Nigerian insurance population, we see that Nigeria is a small proportion of the population has been captured in this. So the outlook for this for insurance is for it to as the markets continue to develop. So you have there's a sizable population for the insurance industry to tap into. I think that would help them going further.
Okay. Now, looking at the trend so far in the market, we have seen quite some positive activities in the market since last week, particularly when the earnings started coming out. Would you say that is investors' confidence coming back to the market?
Yes, I think I would say so. When you look at the FX liquidity has improved. We looked at the premiums from the interbank to the parallel markets, they are fast narrowing. And when you look at consumer names, that was when you look at Nestle, that was a big problem for Nestle. Even Guinness and other names in the consumer sector was that accessing FX to be able to carry out the activities. Now, when you look at the fact that FX has improved and the CBN continues to post a positive statement that there would be continued FX supply, and then you look at rising prices, you have the interest rate environment, which looks like it's here to stay. So all these things, I think investors are pricing all this in and looking at in the near term that the outlook for Nigeria would continue.
Talking about the FX market and the CBN's intervention, yesterday we saw the CBN come up with a release that it's banning 18 banks from participating in the forward and spot intervention for the SMEs because they have not been meeting up to expectations. What's your take on that?
My take on that, I think that when you look at it, the major banks that SMEs would tend to divert or digress to, when you look at the GTBs, the Zenith, I don't think these banks are still able to provide, are still able to supply to SMEs. And then when you look at it, generally, I think that is not positive for SMEs because you are narrowing the band from at which the band of the banking companies that banks that they can access FX from.
All right. Thank you very much, Amaka. Thank you for your time. I wish we had more time to talk more on that. Well, that was Amaka Okoha, investment analyst with ARM Securities. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at the commodities markets. Just stay with us.